Charlie Kao with Travel Mall TV in Nassau, Bahamas, with Demetrius Canton, Director, Market Management, Caribbean. Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I presume Expedia has, besides the flights, all the flights, and many hotels, resorts covered for the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
And growth-wise depends on new openings.
Yeah, but we experience a lot of growth with our existing hotel partners as well. That's really what drives the growth. I mean, we're all about growing supply as well, and we've been it's been a strategic initiative of us for probably the last 2 years. So we're going after not just the big box hotels, but bed and breakfasts and apartments, villas, all that kind of alternative lodging.
In terms of bookings, review whatever numbers you can, but it's always curious to know what people are coming here, what kind of people, from where. Any statistics you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, our main feeder is the U.S.
Yes.
But I think one of the unique things with partnering with Expedia is that we do bring global demand, as opposed to partnering with many of the traditional tour operators out of the U.S. or if you partner with a UK tour operator. I mean, there really was a single focus from a source of demand. When we open a point of sale in a country, it creates a whole new funnel of demand. So, we're bringing travelers from the U.S., from Canada, UK, South America, I mean, Asia, all over the world.
Yes.
To the Caribbean. Obviously, many of those other markets are smaller numbers, but it does help hotels diversify their mix of business. And from a strategic standpoint, from a revenue management standpoint, we also have tools that allow the hotels to specifically target those customers. Because whenever we have a point of sale, then they can have offers that strictly can be loaded on that point of sale.
For that particular market. So if I'm after business from Hong Kong,
absolutely.
And
if we have a point of sale there, which we more than likely will, we can load a promotion that only is visible on our Hong Kong point of sale to those customers shopping outbound from Hong Kong.
And if I want to do even more, I can purchase advertising, upgrade sponsorship,
absolutely, yeah.
And drive further demand.
And I would say, that's critical, not only from a hotel standpoint, but from a destination standpoint. And we've really evolved from our media solutions team. So I run the market management side, so we work with the hotels, but we also have an advertising team, which is called Media Solutions. And we work hand in hand, because obviously we work with the hotels. And we put together campaigns all the time where hotels can buy in at a very low cost and really get the benefit of a much larger campaign. So typically we'll do campaigns, and we do it within a destination, so we're 10 to 15 hotels, and then we typically match, and then we create kind of a really robust campaign that social elements, banners, all the kind of bells and whistles to get them exposure on our site.
The typical booking, is it air and hotel, or still more air than hotel?
It's a good question. For the Caribbean, it's about even. It skews a little slightly higher for the package, what we call a package. That's typically air and hotel together. Car could be included, but for the Caribbean, it's mostly air and hotel. And it's roughly 55% of the business comes through the package path. Obviously, some destinations skew much higher. Destinations like Punta Cana, Jamaica, they're upwards of 75% of the business is coming through package path.
In terms of upmarket, budget travel, mid-market, what tend to be the type of, what would be the percentage?
So,
roughly.
Interesting question. We've had a lot of meetings over these last couple of days with our key partners, and when I look at the stats for last year, the 4.5, 5-star category was our highest growth category. Obviously, it's a smaller base because there's less of those hotels of the 5-star and the 4.5 star. But we saw 33% growth from that category, so outpacing the growth for the overall region.
So the mid-market still the largest, the bulk of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
70%?
No.
That
Well,
high?
I mean, if you look at, I guess if you were to put 3 to 4 star, roughly about 65%, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of variation there between 3, 3.5, 4. But yeah, roughly about 65%.
Do you find it, let's take Jamaica as an example, where it's predominantly inclusive properties,
Yeah.
but they have European plan hotels. Do you find that because people can book it on Expedia easily, find it there, more than, say, scouring through Google, you get a higher booking rate for those kind of properties, just because they're more difficult to find?
For EP specifically?
Yeah, EP.
So that's also a great question. So like I mentioned before that one of our biggest strategies over the last 2 years has been to grow our supply. So prior to that, we've really had the majority of your big box, all-inclusive, or branded hotels. So as we've grown that inventory, we've seen a lot of demand for those types of properties, which previously, they never, getting on an Expedia platform just allows, a 10-room hotel, to just get, a world of eyeballs looking at them, and they're sitting in a listing like Montego Bay in a destination listing right next to the big box all-inclusive. So it's a real big win for properties like that. So we've seen big demand for that.
So they find their business have increased a lot because of participation in Expedia.
I mean, that's the feedback we get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travelocity, you've managed it now for 2-3 years.
It's actually been a full year. We just completed a full,
full year.
Yeah, before it was a marketing agreement. So as far as being part of the portfolio, we just completed the first full year. 2015 was the first full year.
And what kind of growth did that represent?
Yeah, really strong growth actually. And you can imagine, we have world-class technology on our Expedia platform. Migrate the Travelocity brand onto that platform, we saw conversion increase. So we saw upwards of 30% growth from the Travelocity brand in 2015. So very strong growth, and that's continuing into this year.
30% growth, meaning prior to the conversion over to the Expedia platform?
No. That's in the last year, 2015, as part of the Expedia platform, we realized 30% growth.
Through the Travelocity,
brand. Business
.com.
to the Caribbean.
Right.
So Travelocity business coming into the Caribbean.
Okay.
And we are the 5th largest market for Travelocity.
Orbitz operating as an Expedia brand happened today?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
The room only business was migrated. And then I think by middle of February, we will migrate packages, air and packages.
So people still book at Orbitz.com, but
Yes.
it's on the Expedia platform, same look and feel.
Absolutely.
The content will be Expedia content.
Yep.
So do you kind of say, well, likely to be a 30% growth
I
as
think
Travelocity?
we have some history with it, so I would expect
That would be
similar.
the expectation.
I would expect similar results. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
What special initiatives and program you have planned for this year?
Well, I think we've launched a lot of things. I think our focus is really on making our tools, the back-end tools that our hotel partners use, making them more user-friendly, adding more features, really getting to be more self-service so that they can so that it's called Expedia Partner Central, and we want that tool to be a one-stop shop for our hotel partners. So there's been a lot of investment in that platform. I think aside from that, it's really trying to drive a lot of unique type of promotions. So obviously we're always focused on the package path. And then last year we launched members only deals. So that's been a huge win for us this past year, and we will continue to focus on that this year. And then obviously mobile continues to be
Of course.
a big growth driver for us. And so we have tools that allow hotel partners to have promotions that are only seen on mobile devices. So that's also another way to kind of creates another opaque channel for hotels to promote themselves.
Back to the back-end tools for the suppliers. Does that include market intelligence?
Absolutely, yeah. And
So if I want, back to my Hong Kong example, I go, hey, I want to develop Asia, but I don't know anything about the market. I can go to the back end and you have information.
I mean,
that will-
you're not going to get everything, and that's why we have a market management team. So we have access to all the data from a demand standpoint. There are some reports that hotels or our partners have access to within Expedia Partner Central, but for more kind of drilling down, more detailed data, you'll get that from your market manager.
Excellent. Demetrius, thank you very much. Expedia,
Pleasure.
Product Manager, Caribbean.
Yeah, thank you.